Welcome to the Midweek. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. I've got Liz Roberts with us, and Liz is both our Beyond Local Minister and our Community Services Leader. I think, what is it called? A coordinator? Coordinator. Pretty tough to get a title for that. What do you do in community services, Liz?
Well, I've probably shared a few times, but we've got three main areas, which is community care, mental health care, and crisis care. So yeah, it keeps me pretty busy, as well as all the other things that we do with Beyond Local. But yeah, we get to see a lot of exciting things that God's, starting to do with people in the community. So
yeah, there's been a lot of things going on in the last few months. I think particularly as we started this year, quite a few things were launched. And I did notice as we came into this COVID lockdown that you were frantically trying to contact people, tell them what's going on, because there's so many different little areas that come under this, so many different things going on. Today, we just want to highlight a couple of things, hear a couple of stories about what's been happening. So, International Friends, that's one that we've talked about a few times on the platform. But tell me about some of the stuff they've done recently. They've had a couple of outings and things.
Yeah. Well, firstly, it's just amazing, the team. Duncan and Carolyn Greaves and Sally and Carla and Max and Jason and Astrid, they just do an incredible job. So they organised a kayaking event last Saturday, and they went ahead, and about 20 people went kayaking around near Kent Street Weir. And then we had a picnic, and we had to divide in two different spots because of the limit of 20 people. So we had two kind of spots under pavilions, and they had a great time. And I think it's just amazing to see people coming. There was one lady who comes from the Middle East, and she wears a head covering anyway, and she was just pouring out her heart to me about how she feels going to university and how she feels so discriminated against, and how she tries to be kind and accepting, but she just was really, really pouring her heart out about how she does feel people treat her just because she wears a headscarf. And then she was saying, how this group has been so important, because it means that she's got, people that she feels where she is accepted and she has friends. And I know that, people like Duncan helped her husband get work during the time of last year when he couldn't get work as an international people, and people like Sally have invited them over dinner, and then they've also invited people over. And then Carla and Max actually went down south to a town down south for the whole day, showing them around. And I just think it's really amazing what this group of people is doing, because they're not only just doing it for that couple, they're just actually doing it for heaps of other people from all kinds of countries. So it's just been a real special thing for me to watch the enthusiasm of this team of people, and how their heart is to just love people from different nations. So that's been really special to see that development.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's a real message. I think a challenge for a lot of us about how do we really genuinely care for people and invest time. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, another thing I see happening in your office is that there's these boxes that come in, and they sometimes they're on your desk, and sometimes there's like 3 or 4 of them under your desk, and you're reaching around grabbing these things out. They're boxes full of food. And we've got a bloke that comes in that seems to love this process of caring for people. Tell us about this. This is the food delivery stuff. What goes on with this, Liz?
Yeah, so every week Mark Alossi, he goes to the food bank and he picks up some meals, and he picks up, hampers, food hampers and stuff, and he puts them in the community services building, but he also puts some under my desk so that I can just have them ready if anyone comes in during the week. But I just have had amazing feedback from the people, the families of some of the people that he delivers to, like this one Aboriginal family where the wife was struggling with cancer. And they were just so grateful, their daughter said. They were so grateful. They looked forward to Mark coming, not just because of the food, but actually just have a visit to the house and someone to chat to. And so it's been really, really special. And I'd have another Aboriginal family just rang up, and they've got a child with disabilities. And she just rang up and was so thankful for this kind of service, and also for other things like how Emma Healy, which is another person in church, just rings up and prays for her all the time, and just the massive impact. And so it's so great when you actually hear that, you know, it is making a difference in the lives of some people. Because sometimes you think, oh, is this really helping? And then when you actually hear people tell you, it really does make a difference. It really is encouraging. And so, yeah, it's just so special that Mark does this every week to people with illnesses and people who are really struggling.
Yeah,
so.
I think so. Mark, you're a champion. That's great, definitely. Now, I think you raised one topic there that's been quite current for us. You know, we came towards the Australia Day week, or it wasn't a weekend, it was a public holiday, and we had an Australians Together time. And now we've got some things coming up. I think it's next Monday at Community Services. There's a little bit of a sharing about our Indigenous community. You know, you're connected there and caring with for our Indigenous community around us. Tell us a little bit about what's going on there as well.
Yeah, so the staff, we're doing a workshop on Monday with Dina Gower, just trying to raise our cultural awareness of how to work with Aboriginal people and how to bless them and how to serve them and how to understand culturally. So hopefully we'll actually do that workshop. Because of the COVID restrictions, we kind of thought to limit it at the moment, but we're going to hopefully do it again in the rest of the year. So yeah, really looking forward to that, and really got a heart just to keep having, so that our church is like a place that Aboriginal people feel really comfortable coming in, and it feels like they can get blessed and feel like we're really accepting. And I think on the whole we're moving towards that. It's a process of learning each other's culture and growing, but I definitely feel like there's exciting things that can go on in the future. Yeah,
so how to be a place of welcome and embrace, which I think, you know, is a bit of a theme when you think about international friends, and what that lady experienced, and I guess how you care through food and connection, and then this idea of really having cultural sensitivity to understand what it is to love people properly.
And what was interesting was the international friends people, they said to me, I was on a table with quite a few people, and they were like, we want to learn about Aboriginal people. We want to learn about their culture. We want to understand. And I was like, yeah, I need to do something there. I need to actually have something for them so that they actually can grow in understanding and learning about Aboriginal people in this country as well. So that was interesting that it was coming from their heart.
Yeah. So I think, church, this is a little toe in the water of all the things that happen through Lifestreams Community Services and through also the Beyond Local Ministries. They're pretty tightly woven together, but I think you get the picture that this is a fabric about loving our community, being available to them practically, caring, and I think really importantly, relational connection in each of those situations. So thanks, Liz. Thanks for joining us this week, and I hope people get a bit of a taste of the passion that you have for the things that are going on.
Yeah, and I want to thank you for your support too for the Community Care Fund, because obviously it's tax deductible, but we couldn't do all this stuff without, you know, your generosity. So thank you for all those who donate towards the Community Care Fund. It really makes a difference, and it really makes a way for us to do lots of these kinds of programs and more. So thanks very much.
Thanks for joining us, church. See you next week.